Horoscopes by 1pkc.io, brought to you by Jeff Helkenberg.
Hello Aquarius, this is your horoscope for the week of March 11th, 2019. Now currently the house of Aquarius hosts Venus, while your ruling planet Uranus has moved into Taurus where it has fallen. Now we've been discussing this for many weeks, so if you've prepared for this moment, you won't necessarily notice any change in your life pattern due to the fact that you've built a solid foundation upon which you can build your future. You have made plans, you're beginning to think in the long-term strategic mode, and you're thinking about where you're going to be and how you're going to get there. And so even though Uranus has moved into Taurus where it falls, it doesn't mean that it will negatively impact you because you've already got your sights set on a destination. So it'll feel a little bit like you have headwinds, but at least you're going somewhere and you have a plan to get there. Now, if you have not been paying attention and you haven't created a system around yourself that's going to enable you to have a directed goal and you're moving in that direction, if you haven't done those things, then you can expect to begin to experience kind of a tough time. And this is going to manifest itself as kind of strange surprises that pop up out of nowhere and make you feel uncomfortable. So what you may begin to experience is maybe challenges at work. People might have some sideways glances that they start to look at you a little bit differently. And this is because they are unconsciously aware that your sign is in its fall and that your energy isn't as powerful as it used to be. And so it's kind of like when people notice that the lights have dimmed a little bit. And that's going to be your aura. Some of your energy is going to dim a little bit because you are going to be going through a spell of tougher times. Now, when that happens, people have a tendency to treat it like contagion, and they don't want to get dragged down, and they're just going to have this sixth sense that something's not right. And if you haven't prepared for this moment, and you're not like demonstrating that you're driven and you're goal-oriented and you're going and getting it, then you're not going to appear as a person who is overcoming challenges. You're just going to appear as a person who is being challenged. And while that seems like a subtle distinction, it's incredibly important for how people perceive each other. And so look for evidence that people are treating you differently or that they sense something has changed about you. Because that's going to be the first sign that there's risk there, that you're encountering dangers. You don't want to be suddenly out of a job or out of a relationship because you're not paying attention. And there's a real danger of that happening. So we'll continue to discuss this as we move forward, but this is definitely going to be the beginning of a challenging and difficult time for you unless you have made positive, affirmative steps already to prepare yourself for this moment. And so depending on what your circumstance is, and we'll be discussing both options as we move forward, but chances are there are people out there who were not prepared for this, maybe didn't know it was coming. It's here now, so you're going to have to deal with it. Now, for those of you who know your birth chart positions, here is a rundown of the other planets and our star. Neptune and the Sun are in Pisces, along with Mercury, which has entered into retrograde. Venus is in Aquarius. Mars and Uranus are in Taurus, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, and Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn, while the moon will start the week in Taurus, move through Gemini and Cancer, and will end the week in Leo. So again, the message this week, Uranus is now in Taurus, where it has fallen. Big changes are coming. Your life is going to be affected by this. If you've prepared for it, you're in a good spot. But if you haven't prepared for it, it's going to be much more challenging, and we'll work on that as the weeks go by.
Thank you for listening, and visit 1pkc.io for more great content.